Alabama's history is full of brutal and heart-rending stories of injustice and abandonment. It is said that people forget, but the land never forgets. The land of Alabama has the spookiest and scariest tales when it comes to its ancient sites. Here are the top 10 spookiest haunted places you can visit in Alabama. Trigger warning: we won't be responsible for all the bone-chilling haunts. Number 10. Maple Hill Cemetery. Located in Huntsville, Alabama, Maple Hill Cemetery is the oldest and largest cemetery in Alabama. Established in the year 1818, this cemetery alone has 8,000 gravesites. The sight of graves in this cemetery seems to be never-ending. Under the influence of 80,000 dead souls, the cemetery has its reputation of being spookily haunted. Various unexplainable paranormal activities have taken place. After dark, the cemetery offers deathly ghostly encounters, strange noises, and a scary as hell aura. The scariest part of the cemetery is known as the Dead Children's Playground. That is a park within the cemetery in which no human kid can ever dare to play. Turns out, it is solely reserved for the ghosts of children who know pretty well how to claim their park. The people around the cemetery have reported the mysterious moving swings and the noises of children in the empty park. We think they should be better left undisturbed. The cemetery serves to be a home to the Maple Hill Cemetery Stroll, in an annual event that celebrates the diverse heritage of the Tennessee Valley and northern Alabama. Number 9. The GAINESRIDGE Dinner Club. Named as the most haunted restaurant in Alabama, the GAINESRIDGE Dinner Club is known to be constructed in the 1820s. It is a beautiful home that has now been turned into a dinner club, with a pretty scary reputation because of its association with a family of ghosts that won't just leave the dinner club alone. The menu of this restaurant includes a woman with pretty scary screams calling you out if you're sitting in the restaurant. It also serves the looks of a ghostly reflection of a tall bearded man in black, known as Old Ebenezer Hearn. He can often be sighted in the windows, welcoming you all into the restaurant. The guests of the restaurant have reported to witness hearing the cries of babies and screaming of people that creeps them out. Another creepy incident that often happens is the pungent smell of smoking pipes that guests smell when no one in the restaurant is smoking any sort of pipes. But apart from all these scary habits, the ghosts are seemingly harmless and do not intend to harm guests, but only act as an extra appeal to people around the town. Number 8. Fort Morgan. Fort Morgan is a third system masonry fort built between 1819 and 1833 and served a prominent role in the Battle of Mobile Bay, Spanish-American War, World War I, and World War II. The town mythology tells that it is believed that the souls of the dead soldiers and victims still wander all around the fort. During the nighttime, the ghosts surround the fort, and one can feel their presence while traveling around the fort. People visiting the fort have witnessed hearing the voices and cries of men at night, hearing footsteps when no one is around, and seeing ghostly apparitions wandering the halls. The most famous ghost of the fort is known to be a young woman who is brutally murdered in the fort. It is believed that she is still roaming around the fort in search for its attacker. Let's just hope you don't resemble the attacker, or the revenge will surely be taken. Number 7. CAHAWBA Ghost Town. Also known as the Old CAHAWBA Archaeological Park, there's a lot of history and the undead souls around these wild prairie fields, some dating back to before settlers built their antebellum homes. Known today as the failed capital of Alabama, CAHAWBA was abandoned after the Civil War due to terrible floods, and its buildings were left to decay after the last citizens abandoned all hope and courage. Today, all you can see are the ruins of the Parker Mansion and its slave quarters and cemeteries, a few ruins and a church. Amazingly, it's also a view of Alabama's first ever air-conditioned home. Take a drive and walk through the city during daylight hours, or take a tour of the city's haunted history after dark. It is recommended if you want an unforgettable, immersive, spooky experience. Be careful when exploring the city. It's well known that cell service is spotty when you cross into this ghost town. Number 6. Nancy's Mountain Trail. Haynes Island Park is a haunted hiking trail located 40 minutes outside of the city of Franklin, and in this small area stands one of the haunted places in Alabama, Nancy's Mountain, popular for its bird trails, hiking trails, pine trees nature, and the very cute Davis Ferry. Something more sinister lives on the trails as the sun dips down below the horizon and twilight fades. The legend of Nancy Mountain tells a family whose son enlisted to go and fight in the Civil War. When word came back to Nancy that her beloved child had fallen in battle, but his body had never been found, she took a lantern and left to walk the trails in search of him. It is said that she walked the trails until she died. Many visitors to Lookout Mountain have claimed to this day to see a woman holding a lantern walking up the mountain, still searching for her son, hoping she will find his dead body. Not even death could stop her from searching for her lost son. Number 5. Lucas Tavern. Who said ghosts aren't all scary and creepy? Some of them can actually be welcoming and friendly. One such ghost of Montgomery, Alabama is famous for its hospitality. To experience the paranormal hospitality, we recommend a tour of Lucas Tavern in Montgomery. The tavern is a collection of historic buildings that have been preserved. This part of old Alabama town, visitors can experience life in the state during the 19th century. Eliza Lucas, a friendly neighborhood ghost and original owner of the land, likes to give visitors an extra dose of authenticity and has been known to appear on the front porch dressed in a Victorian dress and wave as people walked by. She also oversees committee meetings and likes to remind old Alabama town committee members to behave like proper Southern ladies and gentlemen. Even the staff have to watch what they say, as she has been known to take doors off their hinges if they try to meddle in other people's businesses. Number 4. St. James Hotel. A luxury establishment of the highest caliber, St. James Hotel is one of the oldest and longest running hotels in the state. This also makes it one of the oldest haunted places in Alabama. Its history is intertwined with plantation owners, outlaws, and the Civil War. It was the first hotel owned and run by a black congressman, and after years of success, it fell on hard times in the late 1800s and was eventually forced to shut down. After reopening in 1997, visitors claim to see 3 routine apparitions that hang around the hotel. Famous outlaw Jesse James was seen sporting cowboy spurs and sitting alone at the bar before heading to his favorite rooms. His girlfriend and his canine companion also stuck around. Our favorite recorded paranormal event in St. James must be when a psychic research team was brought in, and while walking past a known haunted location, they asked, "Is anyone there?" When the tape was later played, you can clearly hear an older man's voice replying, "Well, that's a stupid question. It would take a brave man or a complete maniac to stay the night in this hotel." Number 3. Sloss Furnace. Sloss Furnace is known to be a National Historic Landmark of Alabama. The furnace that transformed coal and ore from the surrounding areas into hard steel between 1882 and 1971. This facility not only paved the way for the Industrial Revolution, but also quickly earned Birmingham the nickname the Magic City. However, the facility's rich history has also earned it the title of one of the most haunted places in the South. The urban legend begins with James Slag Wormwood, a graveyard shift foreman, who in order to impress his superiors made his workers take risks, resulting in 47 workers dying due to brutal incidents and countless others losing their ability to work by harming and deadly injuring their body parts during his reign. In 1906, it was claimed that Wormwood lost his footing on the top of the highest blast furnace and fell into a pool of molten iron ore. The slag was said to be unconscious from the gases in the furnace, but many believed that the workers fed it into the furnace, stopping the brutality and taking their revenge. After Slag's disappearance, many complained of an unnatural presence, claiming to have been approached by a man whose skin appeared badly burned and who angrily shouted orders at people around him. Number 2. Drish House. Drish House in Tuscaloosa has been the site of alleged supernatural occurrences since the early 20th century, such as phantom fires and ghostly lights projecting from the house. These hauntings are believed to have started after the owner of the house, Sarah Drish, died in 1884. Sarah's husband, John Drish, died in 1867 after falling from the top of the stairs. After her husband's funeral, Sarah kept the candles from the funeral in hopes that one day the same candles would be used at her own funeral. Her family searched for the candles after her death but were unable to find them. This is said to have angered Sarah so much that she returned to the house to haunt it, and even allegedly started a fire in the tower on the 3rd floor by lighting candles. So it is unsafe to say that Sarah to this date is pretty furious, and makes other people feel her fury too. This house was central to the story Death Lights in the Tower, from the popular book 13 Alabama Ghosts and Jeffrey by Catherine Tucker Wyndham and Margaret Gillis Fight. Number 1. Jemison Center. What other creepy place can be known to be haunted if not a mental health facility? JEMISON Center is the perfect place for all the crazy souls to roam as they please. Also known as the Old Bryce Hospital, JEMISON Center is home to many wandering dead souls, whose presence can evidently be felt by the disembodying noises, screams, sound of footsteps, and how can we forget the door slamming. The facility has seen its fair share of terrifying cold-blooded tortures. The documented abuse of the patients can give creeps and scares to anyone watching it. The building was first built during the segregation era and is now dilapidated. It was known to be an insane asylum, especially reserved for the strong and mighty, able-bodied African Americans who were admitted into the facility. They were also abused to do slave labor in the fields and construction buildings around the hospital. After the implementation of desegregation laws, the facility was closed in 1977. The crushing abuse on the patients have left many dead souls angry and tormented. They make sure no one forgets what they went through by making their presence evident to everyone. Out of all the abandoned places in Alabama, this may be the scariest of them all. So that's a wrap on this video. Hope you liked it, and do let us know in the comments which of these stories made your bones chill. Hit the like button and the bell icon for subscribing and for some more amazing content.